Did you ever have that one movie that was your entire youth anthem? For me, it was this movie. However many times you watched your favorite movie, I bet I've watched this movie at least 5 times that. I don't know what it is about this movie, but it's one of my top 5 favorite of all time. The movie is The Legend of Billie Jean. And no, it's not about Michael Jackson. If you don't know me yet, my name's Genevieve, and I'm an editor for Let's Review This Crap, doing a special guest review. Released in 1985 by TriStar Pictures, this often forgotten gem is an absolutely adored adventure exploring 80s youth, gender and class inequality, and the court of public opinion. Social media didn't exist back then, but check out the eerie similarities. The movie takes place in a hot Texas summer. Brother and sister, played by not real-life brother and sister Helen and Christian Slater, this being Christian Slater's first movie, take off on their brother's rockin' scooter to go get a cool treat, but the local bad boys are harassing them. So in typical 80s fashion, he throws his shake in the face of the pervert, and they take off to go swimming. But of course, the local bad boys find them and decide to mess with them. And the best way to do that is, of course, with the scooter that he worked really hard to afford. At first they're just messing with the scooter, then they actually steal it. Back at home, the mom tells the brother that he's better off without the scooter. Next we meet the sister and brother's friends because they need to borrow the car to go to the police to report the scooter stolen. The police are no help, just tell them to wait it out, and they'll probably get it back from them. Yeah, I don't know in what era that would actually happen. Their friends go home, the sister goes home, sees the bike is home and totaled, and then finds her brother horribly beat up too in his room. The sister goes over to the bad guy's place of work to give him bill for the damages for the scooter. Of course, the bad boy says she's lying, and Daddy owns the shop, and the sleazy dad acts like he's gonna deal with it and pay her back and tells her to go upstairs. Now this should be a red flag for her, and honestly I think it does.
That's very dangerous.
But she's trying to get some recompense for what happened to her brother. He tells her he'll give her a little bit of it now, and then if he has his way with her, he'll give her some more. She tries to fight him off, but her brother and their friends get impatient and come in. The brother grabs a gun from the register, and it all starts to come to a head in the shop. Bad boy's there. Dad tells him to call the cops, saying that they're trying to rob the place. And the dad says the gun isn't loaded, and the brother accidentally shoots the dad. Then they all run off. They don't know what to do, so they just keep on driving. They go back home to grab some stuff to go on the run, because they know that they're not going to be believed about what really happened. The radio plays news that the police are on the lookout for them, and also a neighbor girl tags along as they flee. The police are at the scene, and the cop says it's his fault for not listening to her in the first place. He asks the bad boy about the bike incident, which of course they always try and downplay. The runaway kids now hide out in a closed-up mini golf place. And her friend was going to go back home, but she decides to join them because she said that she was also part of the shooting incident. The radio broadcast again shows how the public thinks that they're all bad and need to be caught.
What are they going to do about these kids that walk in a store and gun a man down?
They need to buy some food and meet 2 kids that believe them that they didn't do this. They help them out by buying the groceries and asking her for her autograph.
You know, my dad says you're going to end up dead.
The sister calls home and talks to the cop and says they're going to turn themselves in, but only if the bad dad agrees to pay up.
And that's all we want. Fair is fair.
People come in and want to buy the picture that one of the kids took of her, that apparently he decided to blow up. Being the sleazy he is, and dollar signs in his eyeballs, of course he's going to accept money for it. The kids get prepared for the payoff so they can turn themselves in. Bro sees a toy gun and takes it. Cops suspect the bad dad of doing dirty deeds. But wait to see how this is going to play out. Bad dad messes up the plan and tells the son to grab her, so of course she runs. Looks like some stuff that inspired Home Alone around here. Mall chase continues, and she escapes into the car while her bro pushes a dumpster in the way of the cops. As they're leaving, he pulls the fake gun on the cop. More people being interviewed about the situation on TV.
Spit right out of him. You just drop in and just smack the lip. Whoop, drop down, snap, and then after that, you just drop in, just ride the...
And the friends see themselves on the news now too. The friends worried about what the dad will say when they go home, but the bro and sis say that they aren't going to go home. They drive through a rich-looking neighborhood looking for a house that appears to be empty so they can get some food. The sis goes to explore the house, and oh boy, I don't know if you want to find this type of person in here. You're really going to get the jump on some intruders in a gorilla suit? That doesn't seem safe. I bet this guy does the coolest Halloween displays though. Hey look, it's the guy from Christine. The bad guy's on the TV again talking crap about them. Now people are lying about them robbing them.
And then they broke open the register and cleaned it out.
Probably took it himself.
Sister changes the channel and a movie about Joan of Arc is on and they get inspired. Then it's time for a little downtime as they take an amazing slide down into the pool. All except the main character who's still watching the movie. She wants him to make a video to get their story out there because everyone's lying about them now. Time for the ultimate heroine makeover. And they're all stunned by her new look.
Holy Mary, Mother of God. Look at that.
She films the video and her new friend makes copies for her to give to the news stations. This new friend decides to go with them as a fake hostage. They get a little boy to deliver the tape to the police, and the police start to figure out that most of the supposed crimes are fake reportings of people just trying to take advantage of the situation.
People are making up stories about us.
The news stations start to play the tape, and Texas youth start getting on her side. Cops go to the hostage's house and talk to his dad. They don't think his son is actually a hostage, and that he went with them willingly. The friend brings some newspapers, and the dad of the hostage says he'll give them $10,000 to get his son back. And the bad dad is still cashing in on all of this and tells them they better catch him. Why? You're making money off this. Kidnapper's dumb dad listens to the bad dad and tells the cops to take this kidnapping seriously, even though he doesn't actually believe it himself. Group of kids see our heroine and ask her for help. And she goes with them, and all the kids in the neighborhood follow her. Inside a house, we hear all sorts of abuse going on. She goes in and tells the kid to get his things and to go with her. And then she tells the neighborhood kids that he's going to go and stay with his grandma for a while. This part was always poignant for me because it's kids standing up for kids when they feel like adults won't stand up for them, instead of everybody just turning a blind eye to things like this. The couple driving by see them, and the gun-crazy hubby tries to shoot out their tires and shoots into the car instead, and a car chase ensues. The gun-crazy guy's truck flips, and they're probably going to get blamed for that, too. They try and change the tire, but the spare's flat, too. They want to run away to Vermont, because the brother and sister have always been dreaming of a place that wasn't so hot. But the friend says they can't go now because they're too famous. She decides that they have to turn in the younger friends because it's getting just way too dangerous for them. The good cop tells them that the sister turned them in, but they don't believe him. Next, they try and steal a car from the golf club's valet, but they don't get far before they're caught, so they have to run, but get separated this time. Car pulls up next to her, and it's a random girl that has adapted her new look. Good cop asks the friends questions, and his partner comes in and says that they caught her, but they're all just girls that are copying her style. The friend's mom comes to get her, but instead of being happy to see her, she just slaps her across the face. So she grabs the scissors and starts cutting her hair. Our main character gets rides from random supporters that she meets along the road. Cops are setting up roadblocks, and she even finds a safe haven where everybody looks like her there. She goes back to the mini golf place and finds her brother. Fake hostage is there too. At the courthouse, the getaway car is brought in. Good cop finds a bunch of golf balls from the closed golf course, and then goes to the golf course, asks them to turn themselves in. The sister calls the good cop, and he asks if the hostage is okay. She lets him talk to the hostage, and she hangs up. And now it's Billie Jean Day. Thousands of people there are going to the spot where she's going to turn herself in. The bad dad is still there, cashing in on it all, and riling the cops up, saying he doesn't think that the gun is fake and that they're all dangerous. Cops are trying to control the situation, but tons of other sellers are now taking advantage of the situation also. Sister's friends arrive, and the crowd cheers. Cops are trying to remove people from the beach and bring in shooters. A brand new scooter even arrives on the back of a truck to try and appease the crowd. Good cop tries to stop the snipers, but they just won't listen. Our heroine starts coming down the hill with the hostage, and the punk son comes and tells everyone that it's her brother instead of her, and then her brother gets shot, and then taken away by ambulance. Still in disguise, the sister gets mad at the bad guy and goes to confront him at his vile shop. He says she's got no business with him. She asks who paid for the new scooter, and he acts all innocent and tries to pay her off in front of everyone. The hostage's dad is actually the one who paid for the scooter. She calls the bad dad disgusting and agrees with him that it's all over, and says she doesn't want any of his money and needs him right in his brain. The torch falls over and all of his merch starts to burn. No one will help him put it out, not even the cops. Her huge effigy starts to burn too, just like she saw in the Joan of Arc movie. The crowd starts to burn all of the merch that they bought, and the cops let her go. Next, we see her and her brother in Vermont hitchhiking, and the bro sees the snowmobile. I always think the sis is going to tell him, don't even think about it. This movie is just too great. How can you not feel pumped and vindicated after watching this? Too bad the bad guy didn't lose more than his shop and merch. Should be in jail. The absolute best part is when the crowd that loves her realizes they've been helping the jerk who started all of this to get rich and start to toss their bought merchandise into the fire. Plus, having a rocking soundtrack that introduced me to Pat Benatar also adds to this movie's awesomeness. I give this fantastic masterpiece 2 Carl the Banditos. This movie stars Al Calavici, Lisa Simpson, and Joan of Arc. This movie contains victim shaming, court of public opinion,
Personally, I think they're picking on her because she's a girl. And I think that's disgusting.
Well, there you have a woman's perspective.
and Texas stereotypes.
You can't shoot them! Let go of me!
Thanks so much for asking me to do this movie review, and I thank you all for enjoying this channel. I had fun and hope you did too, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye!
G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe is there. It's G.I. Joe against Cobra, the enemy, fighting to save the day. He never gives up. He's always there, fighting for freedom over land and air. G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe is there.
G.I. Joe is the code name for America's daring, highly trained Special Mission Force. Its purpose, to defend human freedom against Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world.